Hey folks, welcome back. This video is for pre-meds because I got a call last Friday from some guy who's applying to med school. He took the MCAT twice. First time he got a 507. First time he got a 505. Second time he got a 507. And he's applying to med school. All the other stuff I'm not even going to talk about. I just want to talk about the MCAT. What score do you need to get into med school? Let me give you some background. Let me give you some numbers, and I'll put the link in the description. But according to the AAMC, a 513 is an 87th percentile. Okay, a 514 is an 89th percentile. A 515 is a 91st percentile. All right. I got a 517 when I applied to med school 5 years ago, and I know that I got into that school because of my MCAT score. All right. It also looks bad for you to take the MCAT more than once, especially if your score is not improving drastically. Here's another statistic, and I'll post a link in the description also. But according to the AMC, there's about 90,000 enrolled med students. That includes all 4 years, okay? So you're not getting 90,000 spots each year. There's an average 25,000 spots, 20,000 spots, depending on which website you look at, whatever, all right? And then here's another statistic. 280,000 people took the MCAT, okay? So if you do 10% of 280,000, I mean, that's obviously 28,000. There's about 30,000 spots. Why would they take anyone who's below the 90th percentile? They have enough applicants who are above the 90th percentile, okay? So what am I telling you? I'm not telling you you're not going to get into med school if you got a 505, okay? If you got a 498 or a 500 and you're applying, the chances of you getting in are very low. Doesn't mean you're never going to get in ever, okay? Doesn't mean you should not apply. Go ahead and apply. Doesn't cost you anything except money to apply. If you have an abundance of money, an abundance of time, then applying a first time and a second time is only giving you better experience for the third or fourth time you apply. So you can apply every year, but you have to have a backup plan, okay? I had a backup plan. I got into a medical master's program, and I got my MCAT score. And because my MCAT score was high, I decided to bail on the medical master's program, and I drove to I drove to Seattle. I put my car in a boat, and I flew to Hawaii, and I worked as a scribe in the ED, and I went diving all day. For you, you have to have that backup plan. So if you apply with a 505 or a 507 or a 510, okay, you better have a medical master's, you better have a job lined up, and you better have a plan of what if you don't get into med school this year. So what score do you actually need? I believe you need at least a 514 to have a real shot at getting into med school. That's just the reality, unfortunately. They have cutoffs, they filter out. You might have a very special, very unique personal statement. They might not even read it because you had a 513 and their algorithm cuts you out, okay? Now, does that mean, and you've heard of people, oh, they got into med school, they had a 507, they had a 509. That's like when Nike or Adidas or whatever, they sponsor them some basketball game and they pick a random fan to shoot from the halfway mark, okay? And maybe you'll make it and you'll win a car, but most people never make it, okay? So you're not Kobe, you're not gonna get drafted from high school. Don't fool yourself, all right? So here's the bottom line. You need at least a 514, 89th or 90th percentile to get into med school, reasonably so. Otherwise, you need to have a backup plan. Go ahead and apply. It looks good if you apply a second time. So you might as well apply. You'll get experience. You'll write your personal statement. It'll force you to take action. I'm not deterring you from med school. I'm not saying you'll never get in. But just don't bank on you're going to get in the first time with that low MCAT score, with that 505 or that 510. Okay? That's just the reality. I'm just setting your expectations. Like, subscribe. Feel free to email me. I'm happy to chat with you one-on-one.